This will be a video determining if it makes sense for the early Sailor Moon characters to be planet busters. Now personally, I think it does make sense for them to be planet level or above as a highball. I understand that if you want to be conservative you could have them at a lower value, but I do think that 3 points of evidence suggest that they would be at least planet level in the early Dark Kingdom arc. The first bit of evidence is probably the most direct of them. Jedi's dimension seemed to have a moon in it. This was the same dimension that could be destroyed by Usagi's joke attack, which was the first attack in the series that even Yoma could survive, and was later destroyed by accident by Sailor Mars' first attack. Some people like to say that this is just a visual effect of Sailor Moon's transformation. However, this is inconsistent with what is actually depicted in the narrative, and there's also no evidence for it. It's just sort of a weird headcanon. But if you look at what actually happens, Sailor Moon transforms, then Sailor Mercury teleports in, then they go and find Jedi, then Jedi takes Rey hostage, and then Sailor Moon makes her in the moon speech, and that's where the moon appears. I know that it moves really quickly because Sailor Moon is a very fast-paced manga, but there's clearly a lot of events between Sailor Moon transforming and the actual moon showing up. If anything, you'd have to say it's a visual effect of her in the name of the moon speech, but that happened in Chapter 1, and that was clearly distinguished to be the real moon by Luna. Because of a Roche limit, a minimum distance a moon can be from a planet before it gets torn apart by the planet's gravity, there has to be a minimum level of energy it takes to destroy a planet-moon system like this, usually in the large planet-level range. Second piece of information is that in a canon alternate timeline, 5 Sailor Senshi, literally seconds after first transforming, defeated a planetary threat which would make them all at least low planetary, and this is without any training like the Senshi had from the Sailor V game. It's also arguably more consistent. The fully woken Sailor Senshi scaled a large star level based on scaling to Princess Serenity, yet when Kunzite fought the partially woken Sailor Senshi and Sailor Venus, who was fully woken at the time, he didn't think, Sailor Venus is so much stronger than the others, why is that? He thought they were all about the same strength. I know a gap of 10 billion times is still massive, but it's a lot less massive than a gap of over 1 sextillion times, especially as Senshi had likely grown stronger from continued training with the Sailor V game. Both of the dimension feats are casual as well, Sailor Mars destroying the dimension as a side effect of her attack, and Usagi destroying the dimension sheerly by accident of her crying. So it doesn't contradict anything that they're supposed to be around the same strength, especially when they were supposed to have gotten stronger. Sailor Senshi fully awakened in Chapter 9. In Sailor Moon there's about 1 fight per chapter, so that's about 8 fights before this. Considering that there's 3 different points of evidence suggesting that they're in the planet to large planet level range, I think it's a usable highball for early Sailor Moon.